It's my 1984 Honda Magna. The 1984 had the 698cc V4. Prior models had the 750cc V4 engine. 84, I believe they put tariffs on motorcycles that were over 700 cc's, so they did 698 with this one. The Magna has dual disc front brakes in 1984, alloy rims. You can see the radiator, liquid cooled, carbureted. Rear drum brake has good tread on the rear, and a brand new tire last year on the front. Still got good tread on it. Doesn't get too many miles, much use, but it is a 1984. It's got a bag here on the front so you can put your license and insurance and everything. Single square headlight, blinkers, has the gauges up on the handlebar, temperature gauge, tachometer. This bike has almost 30,000 miles on it, and yep, runs out to 11,000 RPM. Most of the power on this bike is in the high RPM range, the over 6,000–7,000 RPM. This bike has one mirror, and there's the clock. Needs to be reset. New battery. It's just a watch. It has hydraulic clutch on it instead of a cable clutch. It has, let's see, hydraulic brake, and then a cable throttle. Get that into focus. This bike was painted blue. I don't believe that's the original color of it. It's a shaft drive motorcycle. I just recently changed the gear oil, the Hypoid gear oil, and changed the oil in the engine as well. It's dual exhaust. There is some corrosion on the pipes here. Has the center stand that you can put down in case you have to do any maintenance. Get the cat out of here. The preload's adjustable on the shocks. I honestly recommend anyone who is an American-sized person have it on the highest setting, because these bikes were made for Japanese people. This has the king and queen seat on the back. You can put two people on there. Has passenger pegs. It's pretty comfy. Will say the seat on this motorcycle is more comfy than probably any other bike I have. Handlebars, plain buckhorn handlebars. The turn signals and horn and high beams here. Now these are a little worn out. The choke, this does not work. So on the choke, you have to physically push it in, which, as you can see, is, I don't know if I can get in there, that right there. No, this lever right there. So when it's cold and you start it, you just reach down here and hold that in and choke it, and it'll start right up. Instead of trying to get another one of these, which is hard to find and relatively expensive, and it's generally an inexpensive motorcycle. So during the summer, I'd ride this about 35 miles to work and 35 miles back. On nice days, I have other bikes that get more miles than this one, but this one gets all its maintenance and everything. Let's look at the chrome here in the front. There is some pitting. Not too bad, just a little bit of corrosion on there. But it's a 1984. Now let's look at the dash here. So letters are a little worn out, but there's an oil indicator, there's a light for if your tail light's out, and there's a fuel light on the bottom. It's a little hard to see. And then a neutral indicator, high beam indicator, and then an overdrive indicator, which will tell you when you've hit 6th gear. Now this bike has 6 gears, which is pretty rare for a 1984 bike. Now I will say the Honda V4 engine it's not, you know, modern sport bike fast, but it is fast for a 1984 with a rear drum brake. So you'll be glad you have all those gears. Now I'll start her up, turn the key, there we go, lights are on. Indicators have gone out on the tail light, oil, and fuel. So it has fuel, tail light works, and has plenty of oil pressure. The temperature is just starting to come up a little. It's a nice day out, been sitting in the sun a little. Yeah, the temperature will really kind of just hover in that, you know, lower area there, unless it's really hot out. Once it's in the summertime, you know, it's spring right now, it'll hang out in that higher end. So I've already warmed the bike up and ridden it around and put fresh fuel in it this morning, so that's why you can run it. So now you heard that little bit of grinding noise. So when it's in neutral, every once in a while it will make that noise. So not really sure what it is, but once it's in gear it doesn't do it. It's just when it's sitting in neutral, it's almost like it's trying to go into gear, and I guess it just needs an adjustment on the lever or something. But yeah, that's the Honda Magna 1984 V4 engine, 700cc. Always ran on ethanol-free, high-octane fuel.